Hi, Prateek. So
Hi, good morning, Nataraj. Yeah.
good morning. Today we have Prateek, who's our lead developer in India, and me, Nataraj Subramaniam. We're going to be looking at Secure Traces' Secure AI Productivity Suite. So first we look at what is the need for a secure AI productivity suite. Starting with data security and privacy. When you use public platforms, public AI platforms like ChatGPT or Google Gemini or any of the other platforms, what you're basically doing is you're sharing your information across the internet. And secondly, you have no control of it in terms of how the data is encrypted or what secure data storage they're using, access controls, none of these. But you are getting the productivity of the AI platform. The second thing is scalability and flexibility. You do want to have your own AI platform that scales to your need or shrinks to your need depending on what you want. The third thing is integration with existing systems. You do not have integrations with the existing systems with the generic AI platform. The fourth need is for you to be able to customize and control. So what that means is ChatGPT or Google Gemini, the two big ones here, we'll take them as examples, and they have a middle of the road approach. Like they are completely industry agnostic, they are completely company agnostic, and they go by what they learn very generically. Now, as a company, you want your AI solution to be able to talk to your needs. You want your AI solution to be able to talk to your industry and your company specifically. And that's another need for a internal AI productivity suite. Also, the other thing is we do not have any curated applications or curated content. For example, every user in your within the organization or an enterprise is expected to be an expert in terms of prompt engineering to get the right things that you want. Whereas in the case of a product in our productivity suite, we do have curated applications and curated use cases that are far easier to use. Now, cost and resource management. There was a time, well, not in the recent, in the very recent past, where if you had to run AI, the compute power and the machine requirements that were needed was prohibitively expensive, and only the Microsofts and the Googles of the world could afford it. But that's no longer the case. The key to our productivity suite is built on Bedrock framework from AWS, can be used as a VPC, which what it does is basically it treats it as your own environment. There's nothing shared on the internet. There's nothing shared publicly on the internet. It still keeps it private, yet leverages the framework for cost effectiveness to run your own productivity suite. Last but not the least, the compliance and the regulatory aspect of it. Each company, each industry has its own compliance and regulatory information in terms of how to store data, how to share data, what you do with the data, how you encrypt it, audit trails, and compliance monitoring. In generic AI platforms, there is no control over it. So there is still a lot of need for companies specifically to go out and to be able to use the power of these AI platforms, but yet do not have the what do you call that, the compliance and regulatory pressures prevent them from using the AI platform. So this fills that gap where you have the true AI capabilities, but yet you do fall within your own compliance and regulatory umbrella. Let's look at some of the key features of our productivity suite. The first thing, as mentioned, is the security and compliance. It provides robust protection to keep enterprises' data and processes internal. Nothing is shared outside, everything is internal, and everything works as is, yet leveraging the power of AI. The second key feature is machine learning and deep learning capabilities. So the whole world has been wowed in the last 1 or 2 years in terms of the natural language processing or the machine learning capabilities or the AI capabilities, if you may call it. You still get all these you still get all these features, and it runs off industry best Meta's Lambda 3. which is considered one of the leaders in terms of the machine learning and deep learning capabilities. Some of the curated features that I was talking about here we have is document summarization. So if you have large documents which have PDFs or any of these documents, you can actually have them summarize it. You can also chat with them. You can ask them questions. Very, very, very powerful feature, especially when you're talking in areas of legal or if you're talking in terms of healthcare. These become very key features. Like one of the use cases you would probably take is you have a very, very large legal document for healthcare, and you turn around and ask this particular document, is there any mention of HIPAA compliance here? And it will come back not only with the where all the HIPAA compliance is mentioned, you could also get it to summarize for you in terms of what these references are. Number four is the visualization tool. And this is wonderful curated content as part of our productivity suite. Salespeople want to generate PPTs. Salespeople want, for them, PPT is their key, it's their livelihood. So to generating PPTs, there are two options. Either you go the traditional route of creating PPTs, or you upload your information to the internet and you generate a uh, PPT at the cost of risking the data that you have to sharing it publicly. Whereas here, you have your own private productivity suite, and yes, yet you get all these features. It's not just generating PPTs. If you want to do geo mapping, we look at it later in the demo today. There are several features like this where you can have visualization and be able to drive it off data that you have, even in any document format that you have. Lastly, collaboration and workflow management. So what this does is this enhances teamwork and streamlines processes through integrated collaboration tools. So you have collaboration tools and the AI engine itself, the productivity suite itself will guide this and optimize it and drive uh, business productivity. Next, we look at, before we go to the demo, I want to take three key features that we have here, and I would like to share these features. I would talk about them, and then I'll hand it over for the demo here. One is what I spoke about in terms of chat with documents. You ask documents questions, and it comes back to you with not just a Control F search option, but it actually gives you intelligent answers from your documents. The second thing we look at visualization, a PPT generator based on a document or based on a source that will tell you exactly how to generate a PPT for what context. Last but not the least, we have geolocations. Now, as people who've seen geolocations, it's one of the most complex things to extract and be able to graphically display. Here, what we're going to see is we're going to see a text document. The text document contains various locations. And we're going to go through a demo where our productivity suite parses this document and within seconds give you a graphical display in terms of where these geolocations exist. Now, with this, I will pass the control over to Pratik, who will demo these three features for you. Pratik, please go ahead.
Thank you, Nataraj. Yeah, thank you, Nataraj. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. But before that, thank you for explaining everything. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm just going to share my screen, Nataraj, and go through the points that you have mentioned here. I hope you're able to see my screen.
Yes, Pratik.
Yeah, so this is basically the dashboard of the AI productivity suite that Nataraj explained over here. As Nataraj mentioned, it allows us to both have our prompt engineering on our own hands and talk to documents to extract relevant information out of them. And it also has pre-made, fine-tuned, tailored AI-related use cases that help increase your productivity. So I'll just go through the features one by one. I'll start with how the documents are loaded here. I'm just going to go ahead and add one of the documents, and I'm just going to go and upload this document. So this basically is the process of uploading your document. The AI processes it, and it is now ready to be interacted with in various different ways. So first, I'll go ahead and start with document extraction, document data extraction. That's completely in your hands, how you want to extract out of it, which is the ability to chat with the document. So over here, you can see this is a pretty huge document, roughly about 90 to 100 pages in it. I'm just going to ask the AI to summarize the document in detail. So I'm just going to explain the context in detail, right? So that I can see the detailed explanation of all the things in the document, which includes, by the way, images, which includes tables, which includes graphs and unstructured data of all possible formats in it. So AI is just going to process through it and try to explain the whole document in a very detailed manner so that you don't miss anything. So it tries to explain the document, and the summary here is in a very detailed fashion. So it breaks down the major sections in the document. It explains what each section entails, and then also gives an overall summary to the detailed context that what this document is trying to do. So now imagine doing that in a scale when somebody is using it to process n number of documents throughout the day. Something like this increases the productivity by factors in a single day, right? So this is the first thing that Nataraj described. So I'm just going to do another one here, just to show you how much of a prompt difference extracts the different type of things here. Like I'm just going to ask it to make a small summary so that because if I don't have time to read all of it, I'll just go through the summary of it. I'm just going to ask the AI to summarize the document here because I may not necessarily have all the time to read and go through everything. I just want to get a quick context and know-how of the document. So it also now generates a certain question in a right format that I need it to. So this is basically the first part. And again, this goes across various domains. One example would be this is an sample investment document from single advisory contract via Morgan Stanley. And there's a very specific question I asked here a little while back. It says explain GIS. So it went through the entire document, it read about it, and it gave a summary of what GIS means in the context of this document and explained what it means. So it's particularly over here, and it went through it and it gave an intelligent answer to it. Right. So Nataraj, this is the first part of it that Nataraj explained. Now we are going to move on to the next two parts where we have streamlined productivity suite, as in we can do very specific pinpoint detailed tasks via AI with just a click of a button. So as Nataraj mentioned, for salespeople, PowerPoint presentations are their bread and butter, and they do have to generate a lot of it every single day. And they have to upload their data publicly and make their private data accessible on public servers, which is very far from ideal. So I'm just going to take a look at this document, which is just the State of California Natural Resources Agency Department funding department, a document that contains a lot of financial details. It contains a lot of geographical and context details about how the state and its resources function. So I'm just going to click a button here for the PPT and ask the AI to generate the PowerPoint presentation for me. So I just clicked on it. AI is currently going through and reading the document, converting it into the right format, and then thereby generating what needs to be added in a PowerPoint presentation so that it's precise and to the point. So over here, you can see it generated the content of the PowerPoint. It has the details of the slide, the title that needs to be used, the bullet points, because nobody likes PowerPoints that are full of paragraphs. So it suggests bullet points, so it's crisp and sharp. And it also goes ahead and suggests the kind of images to be used to relate to these bullet points and titles. So as you see, we generated a PowerPoint from a large document in a matter of seconds, right? So this was the second part of the productivity suite. The third one, which Taj mentioned, is like one of the key features for various organizations globally. And currently it is a highly multi-step process for them to go from a document or an unstructured data source and to be able to plot the geolocations in it, right? Somebody has to read the document, or somebody has to go through a parser, and then they have to extract the locations in text format so they know what the locations are. Then somebody has to convert it into the right lat long format to be able to plot and show in a map so that people who are interacting with the data in a GUI or intelligent manner have access to that data, right? So one of the documents that we are going to use is the first one, is a document that I uploaded actually at the very first. It is a list of the largest dams. Basically, it's a detailed document with rich insights about locations. And I'm just going to go ahead and click on the feature on the dashboard to be able to show you how fast and how accurately the geolocations are extracted. Again, all of it is local, secure, private. I'm just going to go ahead and click on it now. Yeah, so the AI went through the entire document, extracted every single location mentioned in it, gave out a list for us to have a quick read through, and along with that went and plotted it against a topographical map with the exact lat and long. So all the user has to do is click on that, and they don't have to go through the entire document to quickly see if their location of interest is even mentioned in the document or not. This Imagine the amount of time this saves. Imagine the number of steps it saves for people to just click on various documents and quickly see a map of location of interest instead of having to go through the whole process of reading, extracting, plotting to a map. So this was a third part of the AI productivity suite of Secure AI by Secure Traces. Yeah.
Thank you, Pratik. And these are some of the key features and curated content that we demoed. It is not limited to this. We can also train individual models for your particular industry, for your particular company in a matter of days, and it's extremely powerful. So if you want to use the power of AI, if you're concerned about security, if you're concerned about training your workforce to use AI, if any of those are your concerns or needs, please reach out to us. Again, this is Natraj Subramaniam from Secure Traces, and I look forward to speaking to all of you. Thank you.